to another episode of Success Ladder. I'm your host, Paul Bryan, and I want us to dive into a powerful topic that has the potential to change your life. That is building your courage. Whether you're trying to make bold career moves, take on a new personal challenge, or face uncertainty, courage is what will push you through fear and doubt. I believe that courage isn't about being fearless, but about moving forward in spite of that fear itself. Then, the foundational question is what courage really means. Most people think courage is the absence of fear, but I will say that's a myth, because courage is what happens in the presence of fear. It's about feeling afraid and still taking action. Then, fear is an emotion designed to protect us as human beings. It's a survival mechanism, but many of the things we are afraid of aren't life-threatening. They are challenges like public speaking, asking for a promotion, or starting a new business. These fears can really paralyze us. So, what do you do when fear shows up? Acknowledge it. Simple. Fear isn't something to suppress. When you acknowledge fear, you remove its power over you. The key is to recognize fear but not let it dictate your actions. Fear tells you there is a risk, but courage reminds you that the reward is worth the risk. Think about people who perform on stage. Every time they go on, they feel nervous. But what makes them great is that they show up anyway. They feel the fear and still move forward. And every time they do, they grow. Then how courage is tied to confidence? How is it tied to confidence? Many people believe they need to feel confident before they act. They say, I'll take the leap when I feel ready, or once I have more confidence, I'll go for it. But here is the truth. Confidence comes after courage, not before. Each small act of courage, whether it's picking up in a meeting or making a tough decision, builds your confidence. And as your confidence grows, you become more willing to take on bigger challenges. Actually, it's a cycle. Courage leads to confidence, and confidence fuels more courage. So you don't need to wait to feel ready. Start with small, courageous actions and watch your confidence grow. Again, you may ask, why is courage essential for both personal and professional growth? In your personal life, courage allows you to take risks that bring deep rewards. Think about pursuing your passion or building meaningful relationships. Both of these require vulnerability, which can feel risky, but the rewards, living a fulfilling life, forming genuine connections, are immense. These rewards are immense. So the courage to be vulnerable allows you to experience love, joy, and experience personal growth. In the professional world, courage is just as important. Whether you are an entrepreneur launching a new business or a professional looking to advance in your career, you are going to face tough decisions. Do I leave my current job for something new? Do I take on a leadership role? It's the courageous choice that lead to breakthroughs. So answer those questions with courage. Take Elon Musk, for example. He didn't build his empire without taking risk. In fact, At multiple points in his career, he invested everything he had into ventures that could have failed. He stepped into uncertainty with courage, and that's what separates the average from the extraordinary. How then can you start building courage in your everyday life? Courage doesn't have to mean making life-altering decisions overnight. It can begin with small steps. If speaking up in meetings terrifies you as a person, start by asking one question. Over a period of time, your courage will grow and you'll find it easier to speak more often. Again, one of the best ways to build your courage is to reframe fear. Instead of seeing fear as a stop sign, view it as a signal that you are growing. I'm nervous because this matters, and growth happens outside my comfort zone. Once you start thinking like this, fear becomes less of a barrier and more of a guide. Many athletes, for example, and high performers use visualization to build courage. They imagine themselves succeeding before they ever set foot on the field or stage. This same technique can work in your life as a person. Visualize yourself. Visualize yourself succeeding in the situations that scare you. It primes your brain to respond more confidently when you actually face the challenge. Also, get to know that courage doesn't always have to be a solo mission. Having people who believe in you can make a big difference. Share your fears with someone you trust and let them encourage you. Their belief in you can boost your own courage when you are feeling uncertain. Then you realize that there are several real life examples of courageous actions, people who took courage that you can always learn from. Think about Rosa Parks. In 1955, she refused to give up her bus seat to a white man in Montgomery, Alabama. This one small act of defiance took immense courage, especially in the face of racial segregation laws. Her courage didn't come from a lack of fear, but from a deep sense of conviction. Her courage sparked the Montgomery bus boycott, which was a major moment in the call for human rights improvement and the stop of racism. Or look at entrepreneurs like Sarah Blakely, who founded Spark. She faced countless rejection from manufacturers and investors before she succeeded. Every no could have been a reason to quit, but she kept going because she had the courage to believe in her vision. These stories and many more shows us that courage isn't about being a superhero. It's about ordinary people making brave choices in their lives. Now that you've learned about what courage is, how to build it, and examples and scenarios of courageous people, let's focus on you as a person. What's the one area in your life where you could use more courage? Think about it. Maybe it's a conversation you have been avoiding or a career decision that scares you. Whatever it is, I challenge you to take one step, no matter how small, toward it today. Remember, courage isn't about not feeling fear. It's about taking action in spite of it. And once you take that first step, you will be amazed on how confident you can be. Thank you for joining me today on Success Ladder. I hope this episode has inspired you to build your courage and step into fear with confidence. Courage is a skill that anyone can develop, and it's one that will open doors you never thought possible. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who could benefit from a boost of courage. Until next time, remember, Success is not being fearless. It's about being brave enough to take the first step. My name is Paul Brian, and this is Success Ladder. We inspire the world.